I remember the scrape of the chair more than the insult. Wood on marble. My son's small hands freezing midair, unsure where to land. My sister did not raise her voice. She did not need to. She smiled. The kind of smile that assumes obedience. That section is for children with potential. Laughter rippled, soft, polite, approved. I felt my son shrink beside me. He was 8. Old enough to understand cruelty, young enough to believe it mattered. I said nothing. I folded the napkin once. I took our coats. I left before the dessert spoons hit the table. In the car, he asked if he had done something wrong. I told him no. I told him some rooms are built to test who remembers their worth. At 11:33 p.m., my phone buzzed. Her name lit the screen like a dare. Don't forget who owns now. She is nothing without me. She always texted when she thought she had won. She was my older sister. My guardian once. My benefactor later. She paid my law school tuition. She introduced me as the quiet one at galas. She let me sit near the main table. Never at it. I used to mistake proximity for belonging. We grew up sharing a bedroom and a mother who disappeared into pills. I learned to listen. She learned to command. When our mother died, she took the house. I took the habit of noticing things, like which promises came with interest, like how generosity can be a leash. She built an empire in real estate. I became her compliance officer, her cleaner, her silence. I saw the numbers before I felt the betrayal. Shell companies with mirrored names, trusts stacked like dolls, a charity siphon disguised as scholarships. The key moment was mundane, a typo in a ledger. One extra zero moved too carefully to be a mistake. I confronted her in private. She laughed. She told me to be grateful. She reminded me who owned now. That night, something cooled inside me. Pain gave way to geometry. I started mapping. I did not rush. I watched. I archived emails. I recorded calls where she liked to brag. I followed the money the way bloodhounds follow rain. I hired a forensic accountant under a retainer she approved. I framed it as risk mitigation. She liked words that sounded like armor. I moved my son's college fund into a trust with my maiden name. I filed paperwork at dawn when clerks move slower and ask fewer questions. I prepared affidavits like prayers, precise, unemotional. I waited for her to overreach. She always did. She announced a new development, a crown jewel. She needed investors. She needed me visible. At the main table, I nodded, I smiled. I signed nothing. The execution began quietly. A compliance audit triggered by an anonymous tip, a lender pulling out after a late discovery, a journalist calling with questions she thought I had planted. I had not. I did not need to. Truth has momentum when released at the right angle. She called me frantic, then furious. She demanded loyalty, then threatened exile. I reminded her to check her messages, sent, received, stored. The confrontation happened at her fundraiser, chandeliers, cameras, the room that laughed at my son. The regulator arrived with a warrant. The journalist stood near the bar. The donors froze, plates hovering. My sister searched for me, found me seated. Main table. I met her eyes, calm. I slid a folder across the linen. Her face changed as she read. Not fear first, calculation. Then the understanding that the math no longer favored her. She tried to speak. The room leaned in. She said my name like a reminder, like a spell. I stood. I spoke once. I said the charity funds were misallocated. I said the trusts were a maze built to hide theft. I said the documents were already submitted. Silence broke into sound, gasps, the soft click of cameras. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. Power shifted like furniture moved in the dark. The fallout was surgical. Assets frozen. Deals collapsed. Friends evaporated. The house she took from our mother went to court. The scholarship fund reopened under new leadership. Quiet leadership. My phone buzzed again that night. No name. No words. Just 3 dots that never became anything. In the weeks after, I took my son to dinner. A small place. No tables with titles. He sat where he wanted. He told a joke, it landed. The waiter laughed. I slept better. Not longer, better. People ask if I feel guilty. I do not. Justice is not loud. It is accurate. I did not raise my voice. I did not need to. I remembered everything she taught me. Who owns now, and what it cost to forget.